Hi, Manna. Hi, Manna.
9:23. That's my healthy living.
A little shimmy.
We've all heard the connection between food and your energy levels, right? But how does food actually affect your anxiety?
Registered dietitian Maya Fella joins us today to show us certain foods that can actually reduce anxiety. Lady Maya, looking
Good morning.
Looking free of any anxiety. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So I was curious about this, Manna. So there are apparently two kinds of anxiety: situational anxiety, chronic anxiety, and food can actually play a role in curbing both of those things. First of all, tell us the delineation between these two types of anxiety.
Okay, yeah. So situational anxiety is something that we all experience. It's like, ooh, I have a presentation at work, or I'm going to get on the subway and it makes me a little bit anxious. Chronic or clinical anxiety actually goes past that. And those feelings of worry or stress actually maintain, and they kind of balloon and take up much more space, and they do not pass. So if you're thinking about chronic, it's long-term. Situational is in the moment.
Okay.
But both of them, absolutely, there's a link between the gut and the brain. And what we eat can absolutely impact how we feel.
Okay, right. So, because one would think, like, you might have something that's comforting to eat to kind of reduce your anxiety, but maybe it's not the best thing to drink coffee. So what should you incorporate, I guess, into your diet to kind of help some of this anxiety?
So the first thing that I want to remind people is that we're talking about an overall pattern of eating, not a standalone moment. It's what you do over time, and that's cumulative, right? Exactly. So the first thing that I love for sure is fermented foods. So things like sauerkraut, natto, tempeh, Keifer, which is a fermented yogurt drink. And what we know is that fermented foods are excellent source of probiotics, and probiotics really help to promote those good bugs in our gut. When our gut is well nourished, there's a huge diversity of that colonic gut bacteria, and that's a good thing. It supports the brain health, and it also quells anxiety.
So are you saying sauerkraut, it's like stand clear? Because are you letting out the anxiety in a different way?
But it's coming out the other way.
Well, you know what? Yes, sauerkraut is very cruciferous, and it may promote a little bit of.
Not the. but listen, it's a payoff. It's interesting that you mentioned these fermented foods, because I have been craving fermented foods. Like yesterday, I saw some, and I wonder, is there something to? Because my mother used to say, "Oh, your body knows what it needs." Yeah. Does my body know? Like, am I subconsciously thinking, I have a lot of things on my plate right now, so I am anxious. Therefore, my brain is telling me, buy this fermented food because it is in the long term going to help me? Or am I just a sucker for a sale?
It could absolutely be that your brain is saying, get those fermented foods 100%. We never know. Sometimes the body knows and sometimes it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay. Well, there you go. Talk to us about. And those AirPods, they were driving you crazy. I'm glad you got to the bottom of that. It was a very graceful removal, by the way.
Very graceful.
The viewers didn't see it. We didn't see it. Talk to us about herbs and spices. Can they also curb some anxiety?
Yeah, so herbs, not only do they make your food taste delicious. Listen, my biological family is from the English and French-speaking Caribbean, so I love food that tastes good.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic alternative for people who are looking to reduce their sodium intake, but guess what? It also has meaningful antioxidants, and that really helps to quell that free radical damage and also helps to reduce feelings of anxiety.
Good.
So get out there, get your turmeric, your black pepper, your ginger, spice up your food.
I love all three of those.
Me too.
But especially the turmeric. But a legume. Okay, so the sauerkraut followed by the legumes. I see where you're going here. How much do they help?
Hopefully a lot.
It helps quite a bit. You can see I am on the fiber train 100%.
I was going to say, hello, fiber.
So, legumes are an excellent source of B vitamins, and they really help to, keep your brain kind of well supported, and that fiber keeps your blood sugars level. Okay. We all feel so much better when we're not experiencing those blood sugar highs and lows. So get out there, get those legumes, put them into your pattern of eating, spice them up with some herbs and spices, and you know that it's really going to help your brain and your mood.
It's okay if they're mashed, like in a hummus?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Delicious, delicious.
Yeah, I had gandules last night with my rice, which are pigeon peas.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We can't forget vegetables. I have to believe
Yeah.
there's a vegetable that helps our anxiety, yeah?
So my favorite is really all of the leafy greens. Remember, I told you I'm doing a little Caribbean thing. So bodi, that's a Chinese long bean, or callaloo leaf, also shows up a lot in Caribbean food. Excellent source of phytonutrients and antioxidants, as well as fiber. I'm coming back with the fiber.
Yeah.
And it's also really protective for, for the body, helps to quell that free radical damage as well.
Maya, we're almost out of time here, but we got to sneak in this too, because we all love a little dark chocolate, and this goes a long way, right?
Chocolate.
Yes, absolutely. Polyphenols. So similar to berries, dark chocolate is a fantastic source of polyphenols. Helps to keep your blood vessels all clear and help your blood flow. Excellent for your brain.
This is fantastic. And if all else fails, Maya told us in the break, go to Florida.
Go to Florida.
That's right.
A little sun.
Because the sun helps everything.
I'm going to lay in the sun with my legumes and my turmerics and
your sauerkraut.
and my sauerkrauts and my kimchi. All right, Maya.
Thank you so much. I
Fantastic
appreciate
day.
it. Yes, and if you missed any of the foods Maya recommended, head to pix11.com for the full list.
Good stuff.
Great
Good stuff.
stuff.
I like, and it's true. You can't. It's not a one-off. It's a
you gotta
incorporate in your diet. All right.